So whoever is seeing, welcome to IOD Nations Live. Sorry for the delay. Go ahead, Joel.
Hey guys, we're still having some technical difficulties. We will work them out, we promise. Um, so I'm going to give things a few minutes. It looks like when we tried to get on, there were a bunch of people waiting. We may have lost a whole bunch of them. I'm really, really sorry if that happened. Again, we apologize. Um, but we're going to make it a good show for you today. There's going to be some fun stuff in there, and I would uh, I would urge anyone who's here to uh, in, invite others to jump in and participate
Yes,
because
and drop
we
in the
are
comments
going.
as well.
Yeah, we definitely want to try and get people um, to get involved in the comments. Um, if there's anyone here who has been to one of our previous shows, I don't see any names that I recognize. Um, I'm Joel. I'm the founder of IOD Nations.org, and that stands for International Online Democratic Nations. We're a Substack and a movement that is dedicated and committed to getting the pro democracy citizens of the world to unite online democratically. We are here to promote online citizen led democracy. And what I mean by that is just about every aspect of our lives, all of our businesses, all of our politicians, corporations, leaders, social media platforms, just about everything in our world is online and it's united and it's working together, except for the free and democratic citizens of the world. So we're sitting at this point in time, this moment in history, where there's never been an easier time for citizens to unite and collaborate democratically. Hey, Jordan, how are you? Um, and yet we're failing to utilize those tools and abilities that we have at the click of a mouse, right? I mean, think about that. What is possibly more important than freedom and democracy? And yet, for some reason, we haven't taken the step of uniting and collaborating online. Now, um, as people are rolling in here, you're going to see a continual emphasis that we're going to place here. And this emphasis is going to be on women. And as you sit here and you watch this feed and we start to see people rolling in, I, I, I want you to take note that the majority of them are women. Okay. And I've been working for 10 years trying to figure out how to get people to understand and ask questions about what online citizen led democracy can become and what it can be. And what I've realized, there's all kinds of groups that can do this, but one group that always cleans up the messes of men is women. Okay. Women know how to collaborate better. Women work together better in groups. Okay. Women are just more organized. But what people forget is that throughout history, women have always been at the forefront of change and progress and the expansion of freedom and democracy. and what's happened, there's a famous saying, um, something to the effect of the winners of war get to write the history. And the 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 people in control, the powerful and the influential, they've written the history books, and they've written people of color out of it, and they've written indigenous peoples out of it, and they've written the youth out of it, and they've written the women out of it. And we're in this world where men like myself, we're the ones who are responsible for where we are. Okay. I mean, we just have to be real about this. Men, primarily white men, have been in charge. And that means that we're responsible for where we are. And what we're going to do today is we are going to change that. Okay. We are going to give you guys ways to take specific action, and action that can be taken today. So, um, to old woman, welcome back so much. I'm just going to call you old, to make things easier, because I know you interact with us quite a bit, which I thoroughly appreciate. However, what what I hope everyone, what I want everyone to understand, and I want the people who are coming back here to understand, is this: MAGA and Trump and the authoritarians of the world and all of these child abusers and torturers and murderers and this stuff. There are all of these horrible things happening in the world, and we will talk about them at times, but we only talk about them for one reason, and that is to provide the impetus to get people here to make a change. And so we are going to lay out a way that people can make changes. Okay. We are going to roll out an actual plan that enables women and any other group that wants to. And I believe that the women can invite men to participate in the establishment of the international online democratic women's nation. Okay. The primary objective of this show today is to get women to unite online in ways that they can collaborate and become one of the most powerful and dominant social, political, religious, economic, and even military forces in the world. Diane, I will try to remember to call you Catwoman, but I can't promise that, but we will do our best. So let me. I'm going to do today's show a little bit differently. Um, hey Draco, since we're on Substack and I'm not going to get involved trying to share photos or pictures, can you share a link to that photograph of the lady from Ukraine who's a sniper? Her name is Tetiana Kimian. Okay. Tetiana Kimian. And Tetiana Kimian was a dancer with the Ukraine National Ballet, or a dance instructor. And Tetiana is now a sniper for the Ukraine military. And there's this incredible picture that I hope Draco can share the link to and you can click on.
All right, so I
This
can actually share my screen and show the photos if you want.
that would be great if you can do that.
All right, let me do
Um,
that.
as you're pulling that up, I want to tell people this woman, um, she has over 300 kills as a sniper in the Ukraine military. And what what snipers do, one of the things that's amazing or really challenging and difficult for them that they do is that they have to they have to get into certain positions. There's that picture. Look at this lady if you can see this. Um, and they just have to basically hibernate and stay still until they can get to the point where they can take the shot. Annie, wait a minute. Okay, okay. I need first of all, let's not forget about Tetiana. Okay, and the point why I brought this picture up today is I'm going to be asking some of the ladies here to participate in an email campaign, a text campaign, and a social media campaign. I'm talking about.
Actually, we should also talk about the Dance for Democracy contest. So we have only 1 month left, and we have this
Okay,
amazing
we'll come
contest. So
back.
don't
We'll come back. Hey,
yeah,
Ashfak, keep that one on the side. But I'm talking
sure, sure.
about Tetiana for a reason. This woman was a dance instructor at the National Ballet, and now she's a Ukraine Army sniper with 300 kills. Okay? Women are one of the groups that suffer the most when democracy fails. All right? It is just a fact. And the um the radical extremism that's going on, if you followed the Senate bill that was proposed in Tennessee, where having an abortion would be the same as murder, or you see the Project 2025 thing, where they're proposing that um, if a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old is raped and becomes pregnant, that the government could force them to give birth. Okay. These are things that happen when freedom and democracy fails and when authoritarianism rises. Okay. And we're going to offer a way to fight back against that and change it. And it's not anywhere near as challenging or demanding or asking as much as what that woman is doing for the world's women and for freedom and democracy across the world. Now, I would like to mention Annie. Annie said responsible has two concepts, response and ability. Annie, did you get that from me? Have you read some of the stuff that I've written? Because that is like one of the foundational premises in my book and in my manifesto is that response and ability are the three most important words in the world, right? Because they are actually three words. And what everyone who's here today has is you have the free will, you have the dominion to choose your ability to respond to what we talk about today. So let's start this off. Let me ask you this. Could I get six people or six women here who say that would type in down in the message and say, I'm in, if all I'm asking you to do is send, let's say, 4 emails today. We will give you the email addresses. It'll include NATO, the UN. Hey, Draco or Rakesh, I don't have I don't think we had the UN email address. Okay, can you get that? And hey, old. So if you know a little bit about what we're doing, if we were going to we're going to choose NATO and the UN, who are two women that you think we should email? Okay, Annie, way to go. That's what we need. Who are two women that you think we should email and ask them to get involved in establishing the International Online Democratic Women's Nation, the most soon to be the most powerful and influential democratic nation in the world? Who would you send an email to? I had AOC, I had Jasmine Crockett, um, I had actually chosen Katie Fang. I don't know if you watch her stuff. She's absolutely freaking amazing. She's smart as hell, and she's just God. She's just incredible. The stuff that she covers and the depth and the detail. And there's so many other women out there like that. Um, so right now we've got Old and Annie have said they will send emails. Um, uh, I'm going to leave it to Old and Annie to use this text here and try and get four more women to say that they're in, that they will participate in sending those emails. So I'm going to read something to you that I wrote. Oh, we're going to have a little fun for a moment. How how many women or how many people here like pranks? Does anybody here like a really good, fun, crazy prank? Old, we will get those to you. We will have four emails that when we have six people, we will share them with you. Um, I'm not seeing any responses to pranks yet here. Let me ask you this. How many women here would like to meet George Clooney? Does anyone here think that George Clooney is a cool dude and they would like to meet him? Send us a message. Say something. Say, count me in, or I'm in, or whatever it is, because we're going to run a prank and we're going to prank George Clooney, who many consider to be, there you go, Carol. Do you guys realize that a lot of people think that George Clooney is the de facto world's greatest prankster? Are you aware of that? Um, we're going to prank him, okay? And some of you here, uh, you may get the chance to meet him one day after we see you guys work together and establish the International Online Democratic Women's Nation. Okay, so I think I've got four women who want to meet George Clooney. Um, we're going to roll that prank out in about, I don't know, somewhere around a half an hour. So again, I kind of got thrown off today because I had some images and things that I wanted to share. Ashfak, are you able to share all of those things that Draco had in his file?
Yes, I have those. So right now I am actually putting the email addresses down for uh, whoever wanted to, send emails to NATO and the other people. So should I share my screen with you again?
Okay. If anyone can you, I'd like you to get the video of Simon Sinek ready. Okay. Can
All
you
right.
guys tell me everyone who's here? We've got about 89 people right now. Can you guys see Ashfaq's screen well when he shares something? Are we are we presenting things in a way that works and makes sense, or are you guys not really being able to see it that well? If a couple of people, um, were you able to see the image of the Ukrainian sniper?
Okay, so Rakesh said that yes, but I'm gonna share my screen again and bring that image up. So whoever just joined in can tell us if the screen sharing option is working or not. And I want to tell you, Joel. So unfortunately, Substack doesn't allow sharing audio, so we won't be able to share any videos with them. However, we can share the link on the you know group chat so
Yes.
that I mean the feed so that people can copy paste into their browser. So can anybody see my screen?
Yeah, we're getting a lot of yeses, so we're good there. Let's keep going with that. So
All right.
if what so let's do this. Why don't can you put the video up without audio?
Yes, I can.
Okay,
So
put the video up and you can pause it when I ask you to, right?
yes, I can. So Rakesh or Draco, can you drop in the video link in the messenger group so that I can open it for Joel?
Okay. Ladies, guys, everybody who's here, we're going to show you a clip of a video from Simon Sinek. It's from a TED Talk. I think it's the third highest ranked TED Talk in history, if I'm not mistaken. And what this TED Talk discusses is this tells you exactly why and how easy it's going to be for the women of the world to unite online, establish the International Online Democratic Women's Nation. What we're talking about is called the Law of Diffusion of Innovation. Basically, what it is it's a law of how humans change. So you can see, let's have it play. So what Simon is doing right here is he's drawing the curve. He's showing you right here 2.5% of people are the innovators or the inventors. They always start change. The reason it's called a law is because we don't get change unless it starts. Can you pause that, Ashfak? Can you pause it where we can
Yes.
see the whole thing?
Yep.
Can you move it back
Yep.
just a little bit? Okay.
Yeah.
The next number you see there is 13.5%. Okay. Those are called the early adopters. Okay. Now, those early adopters, they come along after the innovators and the inventors have proven that it works. Okay. The early adopters are the next group of collaborating humans who adopt change. Okay. It's called the law because this always occurs. Now, it can occur fast, it can occur slow, but it's always the way change occurs. Okay. Now, go ahead and hit play on that, Ashfaq.
Okay.
The laggards are the last one. That's who he's pointing to there, 16%. Okay. And now the law of innovation tells us that if you want mass market success or mass market acceptance of an idea, you can't have it until you achieve this tipping point. And that's called the chasm. It's between 15 and 18%. And that's where everything tips. Okay. When you cross that chasm, the law of diffusion of innovation, the law of human change says it's going to happen. And so, what that means is that of the pro freedom and democracy women who would be interested in uniting online democratically, once you cross this chasm, it's inevitable. Okay. And when you do this, it's not just going to be women. The whole world is going to look at the women of the world uniting online, and they're going to look at the power and the influence that you guys have. And these amazing, great women leaders from all across the world, they're going to come to help. They're leaders, they're champions of women's rights, of freedom and democracy. And when you start to unite, it's like from the field of dreams. If you build it, they will come. They're going to come there, and they're going to help the women of the world take the lead, and everybody in the world's going to follow. They're all going to unite with you online. But we have to get through those first stages, okay? And we're going to roll it out for you. Diane, thank you. We're going to tell you exactly how to do it. So right now, I think we have right now we have a couple of groups that we're working with right now. Hey, Annie, I think you were one of the ones who said you would email. Can you type in some comments and can you let me know when you have 6 women here who have said they will participate in sending emails? That's are you okay if I ask you to do that, or would you prefer me to ask someone else to try and help with that? That's what we need. We need 6 women who say they will send emails. That's what we're looking for. Diane, it sounds like you would be willing to send a couple of emails and help make this happen. So let's see what happens there. Now, those emails are going to be targeted in a very specific manner with a very specific message. Okay. Now, in conjunction with that, way to go, Terry. Thank you. Janice, thank you. Watch, you guys, we're going to blow you away. Okay. We are different from any other Substack that you deal with. We are not here talking about the problems. We're here talking about the solution. And we're going to make it happen. It's just going to happen. I made a New Year's resolution that I was going to get the world to discuss and embrace online citizen led democracy in 2026. And I will not be stopped. Okay. And if I can't get the women of the world to do it, then I'm going to go to the LGBTQ plus. And if I
Okay.
can't get them to do it, I'm going to go to the climate activists. We are going to get this done, and I'm going to tell you how we can do it. And you guys are going to blow the world away. Some of you in here are going to start this movement, and you're going to end up getting the Nobel Peace Prize. And if you think I'm crazy or narcissistic for wanting to believe that and wanting to say that, I want you to think about this. Shouldn't we all want to win the Nobel Peace Prize? Right? Shouldn't we all be striving for something great? Um, there's a guy named Horace Mann, pastor, and I'm not a religious man, but he said, be ashamed to die without having won some victory for humanity. Okay? We're here today and we're going to win a victory for humanity. Way to go, Danita. Hell yes. All right.
Can
So
I
we're
say
going to
something?
roll out this email plan. Go ahead, Ashfaq.
Yes, so I actually want to make that happen right now as we're talking. So let me share my screen with you. We have bunch of email addresses that we have noted down. So tell me which email addresses you want, Joel, and I will drop it into our feed. And you can write a message that people can just copy paste and send it right away. So we are
No
making
way,
it for
Vivian.
okay.
How freaking cool.
So
You went to Horace Mann Elementary School? Where was that, Vivian? Oh my God. I haven't really followed his readings that much, but that quote just it brings tears to my eyes. Um so okay, go back to that list, Ashfaq. Let me see it. I'm just gonna pick the names.
yes.
We're gonna email NATO. We're gonna email the UN. Show me the list.
Uh, so here's the NATO email that we selected. NATO have bunch of other email addresses that we can
Go to
select.
Katie Porter. If you guys don't know who Katie Porter is, she is a badass. She's running for
Okay.
governor in California, and she is a damn sharp cookie.
Yep. So should I
The
drop
Hor-
in?
the
Uh,
Horace the Horace Mann quote, Terry. It says, "Be ashamed to die without having won some victory for humanity."
all right. So
Okay,
should we get,
we need one more. I want either Katie Fang or AOC. I want to limit it to 4 emails for right now.
all right. So one, two, three. Uh, so we have AOC, we have NATO, we have Katie.
Put Heather Cox Richardson in there. She needs to be there too. Okay, we got to get this done. We got to move. We got to send. We're going to send some emails. All right.
I just
We will
dropped
go.
the email addresses
Yep.
in our feed. Anybody can copy them. And actually, Joel, you can write the message. So it's
We're going
easier
to do it
for
right now.
our,
Let me do it.
uh,
Rakesh, can you type this in the comments?
yes, I think he can.
Okay,
I'm
here's what
also
I
going,
want you to say.
sure.
Please begin talking about online citizen-led democracy. Please begin talking about online citizen-led democracy. That's all we're asking you to send them. You can
All right.
put
So, yeah.
IOD Nations in it. Renee, Liz Cheney would be a freaking amazing one. Can you imagine? We need conservatives. We need people who are religious to realize that they can unite online democratically as well. This is not just a liberal or progressive movement, okay? This is about pro democracy citizens of the world uniting online. Carol, you should be excited. We're going to make a freaking difference. We're going to make something happen. When you guys do this, can you, can you, God, this is, I'm going to start crying. Can you imagine the young women of the world realizing that they can unite online democratically and become the most powerful and influential leaders of the world? Young women now have that opportunity. Okay. We are going to create the platform. We are going to begin the movement. And I'm too freaking old. I can't even figure out how to get our damn show to start on time technologically. It's time for the young people of the world to step up. We the people who are my age, we're just not capable of this shit. Okay? Um we need them to step up. So Vivian, we are so Ashfaq, I would like to wait to send the emails until the end, but I would like to have all of the emails in one location. Are you
Yep.
cool with that?
Oh, I already sent it. Anybody wants it, they can just let us know and we will drop it in the feed. So the
Okay.
message
Now
is
we're going to now now I'm going to blow your mind.
all right.
Okay? Because now I need 12 women who will send a text. Okay? Or men. Doesn't have to be women. Okay? And it can be the same ones who volunteered to send the emails. And when I show you what we're going to do with this text, even if we don't succeed, we succeed. Um, it is going to blow your mind. So, years ago, when I was working on trying to figure out how to communicate this to people and what the possibilities are if we unite online, I came up with this thing and I called it the intentional goodness theorem. And so, uh, a, a, a theory is a proposal that you believe is true, and a theorem is something that is factual and true. Okay. So we've changed it, and I'm calling it the online citizen led democracy theorem. Can you pull that up, Ashfak?
Sorry, which one are we talking about?
It's the Excel
Theorem.
spreadsheet.
Yes.
Yep,
All right. All right. Yep. So it's in the other folder, I guess.
right there.
Yes.
Okay. Now, those numbers are so freaking big, I'm probably going to screw this up. Okay, what you're looking at up there is the 12 women online democratic citizens that I'm looking to start this text message. Okay? And all you need to do, if you choose to become one of these 12, all you need to do is send 2 texts to 2 friends that you think are pro freedom and democracy. Is there a document that can be posted here in the chat with places to send letters and perhaps a sample of talking points to be sure to include? No, Annie, we are not that organized.
Okay, let me
You're talking
I
to
take a look
go
at it.
ahead.
Okay, let me stop sharing the screen for a moment. You can keep talking. So let me see if I can hear
So
Penny.
here's here's the thing. What we're trying to do is I'm trying to get 12 of you here just to say you'll send a text. It's just an experiment, okay? All you're going to do is you're going to send a text to 2 of your friends who are pro democracy, and let me copy what's going to be in that text. This is what the text is going to say. It says, I just learned about this new campaign to get thousands or millions of us to unite online democratically. I thought of you to share it with. I hope that you will be willing to email NATO and the UN with this message. Please officially accept this as my. Hang on, it cut off there. Let me give you the rest of it. Please officially accept this email as my citizenship application for online citizen led world democracy. Can you please forward this text message to at least 2 pro democracy friends within 1 hour? We are going to establish the International Online Democratic Women's Nation. Join us. Hang on, I'm going to put the last of that there for you. That is my recommendation to go into the text. So, what this accomplishes is 2 things. Okay. The first thing it does is it takes our email campaign and it turns it hopefully viral. We start these text messages being sent. All you have to do is pick 2 friends, and all you're asking them to do is to share it with 2 other people and to send 2 emails. That's it. Okay? We tell them what they can put in the emails, right? Can you pull that spreadsheet back up,
Yes. So I'm
Ashfaq?
actually creating an email a spreadsheet for Annie. So for Annie and also anybody who wants to come in, they can copy the message from here. And let me just write something. Send it to two of your friends as well. All right. So I'm just gonna copy it and drop it in the Substack. Now let's get back to the
Okay.
citizen-led
Now,
democracy.
so I'm gonna talk to Janice. Okay, Janice, let's say that you're up at the top. Janice got 11 of her friends to participate in this text chain. Okay. And her 11 friends and Janice sent out their two text messages, one to each, one to each of their two friends. And let's say of those 24 friends who received that text message, 75% of them forwarded it. Now that's a high conversion rate, but what all we're talking about is sending an email that's already pre-scripted to NATO and the UN and sending a text message to a couple of friends that says, we're trying to unite online democratically and establish the world's first international online democratic nation, the International Online Democratic Women's Nation. I mean, why wouldn't someone be willing to at least try that? What is the risk? What is the downside? Bernard Shaw said, you see things and ask why. I dream things and ask why not. And the other part of this I want you to think about is I want you to think about this is right now we're up to 103 women or 103 people here. Okay. We are in a war for freedom and democracy and for women's rights that you guys are about to lose. Okay? That's all there is to it. They're they're proposing laws that you have to have three forms of identification to vote if you got married and your last name doesn't match your birth certificate. The 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 people running the American government are trying to subjugate women to a secondary citizenship class. And at some point, we have to try and do something to fight back. It's it, 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 you guys are going to be one of the ones most impacted by this. And so sending some text messages and some emails compared to what that Ukraine sniper lady is doing, it's just we're not asking that much. It's worth taking a shot at. And here's what happens. I want Drake or Ashfak, can you pull that spreadsheet, those numbers back up?
Yes. Let me know when you can see. Oops, sorry. Yeah.
Right now I have your camera off.
Yeah, but can you
There
I
we
just shared my
go. Okay. Basically, what this shows, what you're looking at right there is one day. That's 24 hours of text messages. Now, you can tell me that I'm being too optimistic. Um, can anybody else? So Annie's having some problems hearing. Can other people hear me and can other people see our screen?
I
Um,
can hear you
do,
loud and clear.
okay. These numbers that you're looking at, if 12 people start this text message thread or stream or whatever you want to call it, okay? If you guys start this and it's 75% successful, in 24 hours, I believe that's 1.7 billion people would have emailed NATO and the UN asking to become online citizens. And among those is going to be an insanely large number of women who are there asking to be online, democratic, officially recognized citizens of the world. In 24 hours, over 1.5 billion of us will be united online as the pro freedom and democracy citizens of the world. Um, our our images are really small, Ashfaq. Can we can we
Yes.
blow that up at all?
Yes, I have actually, I can download it to make it even bigger. So bear
So
with me.
it's Sue, it is an absolutely insane image, and we're gonna try and blow it up for you. Um, to
Okay,
k-
so
so
does that work?
if you can look at yep, if you can look at that, I hope you can see it better. That is what happens after 24 hours of those text messages. This is this is the point of where we are in history, okay? I told the story in a previous show. I talked about one of my best friends that I lost because of this situation we find ourselves in this world. Um, he's very conservative. He told me just to get over it, and democracy always fails, and I'm not going to change it, and just move on with life and try to enjoy it. And that and other things cost us our friendship. But what I realized when we walked away is this: he's absolutely right. Throughout history, every democracy fails, and so does every authoritarian regime fail. Okay? It's not the failure that we want to focus on. We need to be focused on now, how are we going to use the internet age, the virtual world, to build the next re-evolution of freedom and democracy. Annie, were you the one who was talking about responsibility? This is our responsibility. We started off this show and we showed you this image of this Ukraine dancer who led the national ballet, who is now a sniper with 300 kills. Okay. She had the ability to respond to her country being invaded. And this is the route that she chose. Okay. She chose to do this in the military. And this is what she's doing. Um, Now look at Carol. I I would I would really love to ask everybody to watch what Carol just did. She's the she's the first one who's done this. Not, not the first one who's done it, but the first one who's done it in this way. She's in this group. She's listening to ideas about how we can work together for freedom and democracy. And she's doing the same thing that we're doing. She's asking some of you to help send emails. She's asking some of you to help with the idea of sending these text messages. She's asking you to work together, to collaborate, and to do something, right? We have to stop playing defense. It's time for us to stop responding to what Trump does, to stop, saying how we're going to prevent them from this bill that makes abortion murder. Okay, but look, stop getting caught up in this stuff. Okay? Start thinking offensively. Start thinking about what you're going to do. And you're going to look at the state of Tennessee and you're going to say, hey, assholes, if you're going to put a bill like that up, we're going to fucking crush you. We are the online democratic women's nation of the world, and we're through fucking around. Okay? We are going to kick your ass. We've got to get to the point where we go on offense. Okay? And how freaking cool would it be if the women of the world are the ones who lead that? How amazing. How amazing for the young women of the world to grow up knowing that the international online democratic women's nation is one of the most powerful social, political, economic, religious, and military entities in the world. And all you have to do is start texting each other and start emailing and start uniting and say, fuck you guys, we're not going to let you do this to us. And then what happens is, instead of you trying to figure out how to respond and trying to figure out, how to defend what's happening, all of a sudden, if this works, right? The women of the world, imagine there's this great big wall up in front of you, okay? And on that wall, you start listing the things that you want to accomplish, okay? What are the priorities for us as the free and democratic women of the world? What are our priorities? How do we work together online to make those damn things happen? And then you put them out to a vote within your online women's nation, and you say, this is our priority. This is what we're going to do. Here's 4 different ways we can accomplish it. We can do email campaigns. We can do phone campaigns. We can shut down businesses. You make democracy offensive, okay? And when you do this, the minute you get to a certain point, if you watched what we were talking about, the law of diffusion of innovation, this is the most important. I cannot emphasize anything above this point. Can you pull that image up again,
The
Ashfak?
theorem.
The Simon Sinek. I want the image where it shows the wave, the arc of
Yes.
the law of diffusion of innovation. I want to show people what's going to happen. I want to show how we can do this. Dan, tell me what you're confused about. I don't know how long you've been here, but ask me a question. Ashfaq, try and get me to
That's
where I
about
can
it.
see the whole thing better. I will respond to
Does
you,
that work
Dan.
for you, or should I move it?
Um, right there. Okay. No,
2.5.
go to the
Yeah.
one. No, go forward where it has the chasm, where he circles that, and he's talking about crossing
Oh,
the
okay.
chasm.
All right. All right. All right. Okay.
It shouldn't be that far forward. There, right there. Pause that.
All
Okay.
right.
So again, I'm primarily talking to the ladies here about the International Online Democratic Women's Nation. Okay. This spot right here, what you're looking at if you're new here, it's called the law of diffusion of innovation. It's the arc of how human beings collaborate and change. How do we get change within large groups of human beings? And it's so defined that they called it a law. Okay. And this point you're looking at is you take 2.5% plus 13.5%, and you reach this point, and it's called the chasm. And when you cross the chasm, that change is going to happen. In other words, when somewhere between 15 to 18% of the population got cell phones, okay, that meant that cell phones were done. They were going to happen. Everybody was going to get cell phones, or the majority of people. As he uses in his example, he talks about at the end you have the laggards, and he said those are the people who will still use uh, dial tone phones. Um, but but my point is this: what I'm talking about is once the women of the world have united online, okay? Leave that there, Ashfaq. Please don't remove it. Can you go back?
Sorry. I thought, yeah. Just a moment. I
No,
thought
I,
you
I,
were done talking about.
no,
All right.
no. I want to stay right.
You
I want to
see?
stay right on that image. Now, here's what I want you to realize. I want you to imagine that the women of the world have united online. You've all sent these messages to NATO or to the UN or whatever platforms you ultimately decide where you want to reside. Okay. You have millions of pro democracy women united online. Okay. Now, what you know is this: if you have shared goals and objectives, okay, uh, Dan, men can do it. The problem is my audience here is about 90% women. And so um, I've tried talking to men about this for the last 10 years. I can't get them to understand it. But what we can do it as men, okay? But but really ultimately what should be established, the ultimate umbrella that all of this sits under is the online democratic citizens of the world. Okay. We're the ones who are all united. All right. Now, underneath that is going to be the online democratic women's nation. Okay. And the online democratic LGBTQ plus or BIPOC or climate nation or all of that. But the other thing, Dan, that's so freaking amazing is we're also going to have the online democratic Ukraine nation. Okay. And the citizens of Ukraine are all going to go to NATO, and they're going every nation in the world, the citizens of that nation. So right now we're dealing with, my team includes three great guys from Bangladesh, Rakesh, Draco, and Ashfaq. Whatever you do, don't, no, I want that image up.
Okay. Let me bring that back. Sorry.
I
Hang on.
I want that to stay until I have it move. Old,
Sure.
old. Please stop talking about MAGA. All right? I do not react to MAGA. I'm here to force MAGA to react to us. I'm not going to
Okay.
play defense anymore. I'm
I
sorry if
want to
that
add.
sounds a bit harsh. Go ahead.
I want to add something to that other question you were discussing, where somebody asked, why not men? So I just want to tell you, men, women doesn't matter. I think you guys already know that gender is a social construct. I mean, you don't have like people decide, given us responsibility, like women should work on the kitchen, not on the outside. We don't live on that time. We are on the modern age. So stop thinking like, like only men cannot do it, or women. Think of us as human beings, and that would be a good approach. So that's what I wanted to add. Go ahead, Joe.
Okay. Now, here's what I really want to get back to.
Sure.
Here we are. Let's say the pro democracy and freedom women of the world have united online. Now, anything you want to propose. So let's say that the online democratic women of the world want to establish an online university that teaches the history of freedom and democracy and why voting is not enough for healthy democracy. Okay? And these women have decided that they are going to found this online university and they are going to create a curriculum. And that curriculum is going to be readily available to the whole world and to women all across the world to learn about the implementation and the rises and falls of freedom and democracy so they can better prevent it from happening. Now, let's say that that proposal requires funding. It's going to require $100,000 or $500,000. Okay. When the International Online Women's Nation, the Online Democratic Women's Nation, puts that proposal up on their website, okay, you are going to know within 5 minutes whether you've crossed the chasm or not. Okay? You don't have to go through all of these stages and all of these processes. Okay? Once you have this unifying cause, this unifying purpose, everything that these online citizen led nations do is to ensure and promote freedom and democracy. You have used the internet to totally disrupt the way that human beings change. Okay? You can now start listing pro freedom and democracy changes that the women of the world want to propose, and you can cross the chasm on 100 of them in a day. Okay? If they're manageable and if they meet the desires of your community, you just literally disrupt this massive problem that we have where as human beings we're not able to adapt quickly enough to the changes that are happening. It's why we're having all of these problems. We're just not, we don't have the systems in place. We haven't evolved. We haven't put freedom and democracy online into the virtual world and made it our bitch. I don't know. Forgive me for saying that, but damn it, at some point in time, we've got to unite and start imposing freedom and democracy upon the world. We need to start taking control of our destiny, and women need to do it. And what I'm telling you is once you unite, once you begin this happening, you can pick issues like women's voting rights, um, um, you know, uh, school sports, um, the online citizen-led pro-democracy economy. Okay, imagine this: if there's anyone here who's an artist of any kind, or appreciates great art, music, whatever it is. Okay, I use music as the example. Why do we have Spotify where a bunch of wealthy assholes, you can get rid of that now, Ashfak, thank you, are the ones who profit from artists' work? Okay, what if the artists of the world unite online and found the International Online Democratic Art Nation? And you go to these platforms and you tell them either you change your financial structure so the majority of the money goes to the artists, or we're going to abandon your platform, or we're going to conduct a hostile takeover. Because we are going to make sure we, the women, the pro democracy women of the world, are going to unite with the pro democracy artists of the world. And we're going to level the playing field, and we're going to stop the wealthy and powerful from taking advantage. And this brings us back to this foundational premise of all of this. that I've said on other presentations. So if I were to ask anyone who's here today who hasn't been here before, if I were to ask you, do you access the internet? Do you access the internet? And every one of you, almost exclusively, is going to say, yes, I access the internet. Okay. And it's like, is the glass half full or half empty? You don't access the internet. You get on a device, okay, and you open access to you. You allow Facebook or you allow TikTok. You allow them to access you, okay? All you have to do, all the women of the world have to do is put up a first primary filter before you get unfettered access to the pro democracy women of the world. And here's what that filter says: the shit disturbers are actually foiled to win on the high seas. I don't quite know what you mean by that one, Annie, but here's my point. You control their access to you. We control their access to us. If you put up a filter that says no company gets direct access to our marketplace unless they have a mission statement and an action plan that proves they are pro democracy. They have to have specific, actionable tactics and strategies that that company is working on to promote freedom and democracy across the world. Okay. And you don't get free access to us. If you want access to our online marketplace, and don't forget, you bastards, we've got 1.6 billion people in our online marketplace. How did you find me, Kathy? Thank you for being here. Um,
I think we should address old woman's comment about we are putting ourselves at risk by being activists online.
we are old. There is no doubt about it. Let me tell you exactly what's going on. Okay, we're gonna spell this out. In case you don't know, I'm a little bit on the spectrum, kind of self-diagnosed. I have a unique way of looking at things, and I tend to reduce them to really fundamental basic premises like freedom and democracy is exponentially effective based on the numbers of collaborators who work together. Okay. The larger number of people you have actively collaborating, the stronger and better your free and democratic society is. So back to old woman's comment about putting ourselves at risk. I'm going to use the United States as an example. Okay. Our democracy has failed. Okay. Our Supreme Court is not functioning properly. Our elections are not functioning properly. We are in a downturn. We have ICE, which is an authoritarian military police that is developing a whole bunch of internment camps across the country. If they just wanted to kick out immigrants, they would be kicking them out. They wouldn't be buying all these buildings to put people in. And old woman, they are going to put some of us in those buildings who are going to resist it. Okay? That's it. But it's a pure financial, or it's a pure mathematic equation. The longer we allow them to persist without resistance, the more violent and the more people are going to get hurt in the process of rebuilding or saving or however you want to define it, The longer we wait, the more dangerous it becomes. And what you're doing is, as we wait longer, okay, we are, what's completely unfair about this, okay, is the people who are putting themselves most at risk right now, if we aren't getting behind them, we're putting them at more risk, okay? We're asking them to risk more in order to help us have our freedom and democracy. And that's not fair. It is not fair of us to sit back and expect the director of dance at the National Ballet in Ukraine to go out and become a sniper for years and to kill 300 soldiers that invaded her country. It's not fair of us to ask her and Ukraine to do that and not be willing to send some text messages and some fucking emails to try and help them. How what what kind of humanity is that? How is it even possible that we are not already united online to honor and defend and protect the children who were raped as a part of the Epstein criminal empire? How have we not united online and gotten that evidence released? If the women of the world unite online democratically, you will be able to make that happen, possibly within days or weeks. There are ways that you will be able to impose your power and influence that make that happen. We're not kidding. You can simply participate in sending some text messages and sending some emails, and some of you here will go down in history as being the ones who established international online citizen-led democracy. It's that's this insane place where we are in history. We have been given the internet to do this with, and we have failed at it. And the longer we keep failing, the more people are going to get hurt. The more, did you see the old guy who was blind, right? Ashfak, did you see what happened? Okay, I want to tell you guys a story right now. So Ashfak, Draco, and Rakesh are all from Bangladesh. And Bangladesh borders on another country, and there's a group of people there called the Rohingyas. Is it Rohingyas?
Yes.
Okay. Did you hear about what happened to the Rohingya man in the United States?
No. What happened?
So, for those of you who don't know about the Rohingya, they they are this class, this culture that is just treated like shit. Okay, they're caught between two countries. They're kind of like the Palestinians in a way. Okay, they don't have their own country. They just get abused. Ashfaq,
Yeah.
there was an older guy in his 50s or 60s. He was Rohingyan. I'm not sure how to do it properly. He was almost completely blind. Okay, he had been through hell, probably in Bangladesh. And somehow or other, he found his way to the United States. Okay. And our ICE picked him up and they put him into a detention center and they held him there in Minnesota. Okay.
Okay.
And somebody, was that Buffalo, Diane? Maybe. Okay. Oh, it was. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah. And they somehow or other they got forced to, or they decided to release him. And what they did is they drove him to an old home address at night in the middle of winter in Buffalo where it's like 20 or 30 degrees below zero, and they just dropped him on the street in his clothes, blind, and they left him there and he froze to death. That's what's going on in our country. So I'm an hour and 15 minutes into preaching here, or whatever you want to call whatever this is that I do. Okay. I need to know, are there 6 people here willing to send emails? And if you are, I need you to type and say, I'm in. At some point in time, we have actually got to start doing something. We've got to start taking action. All we're asking is to try sending some emails. So, are there 6 people here who will do it? Okay.
S- So whoever wants to do it, I am going to share, copy the Google spreadsheet link, or you can drop in your email address where I can send you by the email. So you can just drop in your email address and I will. So I already sent it to Annie, old woman, and bunch of
You,
other people.
Kathy, Kathy, all you have to do is copy it and put it in the subject and hit send. We give you the email address. We give you a simple email message. It just says, I would like to be officially recognized as a citizen of online citizen led democracy. It's that simple. The, the point, the point is, what is NATO going to do when they wake up tomorrow or the day after and they have 100 million or 1 million or 1 billion, whatever it is, people who have emailed them saying that they want to become online citizen led democracy citizens? Okay. They are going to sit there in disbelief. They, I've emailed NATO so many times. They're going to look at this and they're going to go, "Oh my God, how do we utilize this? How do we work with them?" And Janice is going to write to them and she's going to say, "Hey, I'm one of the people who wants to be involved in making this happen. Okay? We are organizing online and we need NATO's help. We want to become the first international online democratic citizen led democracy nation. Okay. And we are going to kick ass. And we want to work with NATO, but we're also going to work on our own. And we're going to do things and we're going to make shit happen."
So old woman, yes, you can do UN too. Actually, I will put UN's email address as on the spreadsheet as well. So
There it is.
yeah,
Draco just did it.
all right.
Okay. Okay. So let me get, let me scroll here. Give me just a minute. Okay. Is there one person here who said yes to the emails who will collect the other 6 people who agreed to send emails? Well, I need someone willing to come in and say, I have 6 people willing to send emails. Can someone in this thread
Yes,
coordinate
I
that and
two,
get us to that
seven,
point?
3, 4, 5.
I don't, I want Ashfak.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
I want them to do it. I want them
Sure.
to do it.
I'm just
This
telling you
is,
that already 7 people joined in. I shared it with 7 people. So that is really amazing. I'm really happy to see
yep,
that it's going on. So let's do
yep.
that.
So we've got that. Okay.
Yeah.
Then the next objective is we need 12 people who will start the text message chain. Can we get 12 people here who would be willing to send that text message that we had? We will put Rakesh, can you work behind the scenes? Can you take, I'm gonna try and copy it here again. Can you take this message and incorporate the emails to NATO and the UN. So let me try and see if I can get all of this to appear in one message here. This is what the text message would say. Okay? It would say, so for instance, if I was sending this to Paula, Paula's got 6 people she can contact about sending emails. Paula, we are going to kick some ass. Okay? We are going to blow this shit up. Women are going to become the most powerful and influential democratic force in the world. If we get more Paulas who bring in 6 people, okay? If you guys start doing this shit, they are not going to know what has hit them, okay? They just won't know. NATO NATO and the UN aren't going to know, okay? They're just going to sit there and they're going to go, "What in hell just happened?" The men too. Hell yes, I'm in. Okay?
Yeah,
We're
me too.
I'll tell you what, the 4 of us.
Okay, seems like Joel's uh screen got froze. So okay, now you're back, Joel. So you froze for a moment.
Okay. All right. So, there we go on that. Now we're working on 12 people for the text, and they can be part of the 6 or more. We want way more, okay? But I just created those numbers to start with. Now we're going to go into how do we affect this immediately? And I'm going to tell you a story about my frustration and the money that I've wasted. So I didn't get the courage to step up and do this. Took me about 10 years, didn't it, Ashfak,
Yep.
to come out and actually speak out about it because I was too much
Yeah.
of a pussy. Sorry,
No,
I hope I didn't. Ladies, I'm sorry if I used that word in a derogatory way. I did see a woman who used it in one of our feeds yesterday. So I was a coward, and I'm still kind of a coward. I'm kind of old. I'm kind of scared. Okay. I really need you guys to send these emails and these text messages because if people start hearing about this, if the wrong people start hearing about this before we build up enough people, they are not going to be happy with me. Okay. And I'm just an old man. I'm just trying to get through life. Um, but now we're going to move on to the next thing. I'm going to tell you some stories about Substack. Um, I follow some different people in Substack. Midas. I got to pull it up because I can't remember all of them. Hold on just a minute. Give me a second with my technological challenges here. Where did my Substack go? Okay, let me tell you some of the people that I've followed and paid to try and get um to pay attention. I can't.
Okay, so Rakesh just said he's sending it Rick Wilson's Against All Enemies. Is that the one you're looking for?
No, yeah. Which one was
So,
that? What was his name?
uh, so Rakesh sent 2 names. One is Rick Wilson's Against
Rick
All
Wilson,
Enemies.
Against All Enemies. So we'll just use a couple here. We'll use Rick Wilson, Against All Enemies, Michael Cohen before he became Trump's bitch again. Um, um, Joe Walsh, Adam Kinzinger, a bunch of these Substacks. And you see these guys and gals, and they all go and they do their live feeds just like we're doing now. Okay. And in those live feeds, um, they start getting comments, and they get all these people over here who are making comments. And you'll see, Courtney, I'm using you as an example, but please don't take this the wrong way, okay? Because I think I've seen your name up here earlier, and I think you're all in. But this is what we get. We get all these comments that say, "Fuck Michael Cohen," and "That's illegal," and "They should all be locked up," and blah 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 blah. And everybody's throwing hearts and exclamation points and all of this kind of crazy shit, right? And I'm sitting in there, and there's these thousands of people, and they're all writing these comments, and they've got this massive audience. And I'm sitting there and I'm writing, "Please stop complaining. Start doing something. Okay? Let's unite online. Start talking about online citizen led democracy." And I put it in all caps, and I'm posting it over and over and over again, like where you see this text in our columns here. And nobody says a fucking thing. And I can't post there unless I pay them. Okay? If you notice, everybody who comes to our place, we don't charge you for anything. We're not here to make money. We're not here to get bigger from your money. We're here to inspire people to unite online. And we're not going to charge you to participate in that. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a core group here that will start going into these other feeds where they're having live feeds, whoever you follow, okay? And what I want you to imagine, what Rick Wilson Against All Enemies, he is a badass. They're a part of the Lincoln Project. They're doing bold, risky, amazing work, but they're not talking about how to unite us and get shit done. No place has a portal or a window or anywhere where they're looking for new ideas to make shit happen. And so, what I want to do is, I'm hoping we can get a group of you here, and you guys will coordinate. And I want you to imagine the next time they're running one of their threads, when there's 10 of you here and all of you are sending them a message, why aren't you talking about online citizen led democracy? We want to talk to you about the international online democratic women's nation. Why won't you talk to us? We want to rewrite the Constitution for this women's nation. There you go. Aaron Parnes is getting a massive audience. Okay. I haven't reached out to him yet, but damn it, he should be here. He should be talking about uniting the citizens, the pro democracy citizens of the world online. We should be talking about what we're going to do to fight back. We should be talking about how we put them on the defensive, how they're having to have meetings and all of this stuff because they're getting their asses kicked and the laws that they don't want passed are being passed. Gotta stop playing defense. Okay. He went to law school at age 14. He's a genius, a real genius. Kathy, Kathy, please help me. Get a group of women here. Talk to Rakesh, Ashfak, myself, and Draco. Okay. We will all go into one of his live feeds and we will all start sending him messages telling him that we need to talk to him, that it's important. And if 10 of us are doing it, I guarantee you we will get their attention. Okay. But we have to do some things. We have to at least start off with more than just me, this crazy old man in my not anonymous t-shirt. Okay. We got to start somewhere. We have to begin with people. Every one of them are. We had a recording to play for you. If you go to our website, go to iodnations.org, and it's kind of a rough video, but it's a video that has Jen Psaki speaking at an event put on by Crooked Media and Pod Save America. I cannot get those bastards to respond to me on anything. Okay. And Jen Psaki stands up on that stage in that great big event that she did, and we copied her recording of what she said about what she's hoping to see for the future of democracy. Now, I've sent messages. I can't tell you for sure if I sent emails to Jen Psaki or not. I will follow Aaron Parnas. I promise you. Um, we are already following him. Okay. Um, what we are going to do is we are going to compel them to talk to us. Okay. If we get enough of you here, um, I'm going to do another live feed on Monday at 11 o'clock. Okay. And we're going to start doing them every freaking day. And we're going to start sending emails, even if it's the same 8 or 10 of us. We're going to start sending those emails, and we're going to get more people to send those emails, and we're going to get more people to send those texts. And we are going to do this until there is an international, online, democratic women's nation that's been founded and recognized by the UN and by NATO. Okay. And I'm not fucking quitting until we get it done. So if I have to do it by adding one Kathy Nataro a week to get there, then so be it. And I'm not meaning to discount anyone else who's commented and been here. Someone else commented they stayed. I don't know if you guys read that comment. Who was it who said they stayed here the last time? Right there. Courtney Lauteri. I was here last week for 3+ hours. Courtney, can you right there. Can you tell me why you came back? What is it that inspired you? What is it that makes you want to be here? Tell Can you tell everybody here just briefly what's different? Why did you come back? Who the hell would sit here and listen to me for 3 hours? Ashfak, I see you waving around, but I can't hear you. Invite her to join live. Courtney, will you join us live if I invite you? That would be so
So
freaking cool.
yeah, I was saying
I'm
that.
just I'm just inviting you. You can come in here if you want. I don't quite know how to do it. Okay, you can't do that now.
Yeah.
Is there anyone who wants to come into this live stream and talk with me? I would love to talk with someone. Was it
So what I
Dan
was,
who wasn't? Go ahead, Ashfaq.
yeah, I was saying that me, Rakesh and Draco, we are hearing you for quite some years now. So we are hearing, and lots of people are hearing you as well. So if anybody wants to join this conversation, just drop in yes, and we will invite you so that we can have a great discussion.
You can bring your son and with you if you want, Courtney. I'm not trying to pressure you. I'm just telling you there are no rules here, man. Um, I I live my life just just kind of by the skin of my teeth, man. I just do what I do. Um, so I see that we have I know that we have 6 or 7 people who have said they would send emails. I guess at this point, we are not going to get 12 people who want to send text messages. So
Well, maybe
I'm gonna keep.
if we can, keep trying a bit harder, what I mean. So we have to be like what
Do
we call those
do
like
I,
hagglers or
what what is the impression of people here? Do I sound preachy? Do I sound like I, I mean ACLU? I've never worked with the ACLU. Diane, I'm really kind of a loner. Um, Texting is too personal. Okay, old. That's great for you, but I just need some other people who it's not too personal for. It's totally um it's
so
just totally up to the individuals.
do you
Thank you, Patty.
thank you so much. Let me share the spreadsheet link with you. And Oliver just left his email. So if you want it in your email, send it to or drop it in the feed in the chat, and I will send to you in your email right away. Okay. So I guess on a look.
Diane, tell me about your local board. Can you come into a call? Are you interested? I one of my one part of my resolution, my New Year's resolution, I now attend every county board of supervisors meeting in San Luis Obispo County. Okay. And I go there and I talk to them about online citizen led democracy. Um, and I'm going to keep going there and talking to them about it. Uh, Come into the call. I will invite you and you can be on here and talk live with us if you would like to do that. Would you like to do that? Would anyone like to do that? Would someone please come in and get into a conversation with us or with me or whatever? But if
Right.
not, I totally get it. But we're here for you if you want to join us.
Yes, we would love to talk to you. Okay, so Diane, just let us know. I mean,
Diana, are you saying okay? Are you saying yes, you want in?
yes, you have to be a bit more clear. I don't know your name. How long have you been doing this? I'm on YouTube all the time and have not run across you before. I'm glad. So, Kathy, we actually tried doing it on YouTube today for the first time, but I mean, it messed up at the last moment. So it was just, a little bit of that on YouTube. But we are doing this on Substack for how many weeks, Joel? Maybe 2 or 3 weeks
I
now.
think that 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Um,
So we will be definitely doing it on YouTube. We can collaborate on
hon-
it on. Would love to.
Honestly, I'm being completely honest. I was too much of a coward to do this. I was afraid to put myself on camera and talk about this. Um, I'm not just relatively new, I'm really new. And we're not polished. We can't even
Yes.
start our show on time yet. But we are not going to stop. There will be nothing that stops us. Okay. And if you see this stop, if this feed stops, it's because either something personal happened that stopped me or some outside force stopped me. Okay. I will not stop. And if I'm stopped, you guys had better figure out how to work together and make this shit happen. Because if we don't unite online, the women of the United States of America are going to get screwed. And I mean that literally and figuratively. Okay. Um, I mean, I was, how many of you remember and realize women could not get a mortgage or a credit card until 1974 in the United States of America. You could not get a credit card or a mortgage until 1974. That's when America was great. What's my background, Kathy? Oh my God.
Oh my God. Yeah, so
I
much
come
comment. It's really hard to keep up with you guys. No, it's okay. Dawn. So, I mean, we would love to have somebody join the call with us so that we can talk with you guys a little bit, and we'll probably have a Zoom meeting. I mean, we've been trying to set up a Zoom meeting where you guys can hop in and talk to us, but unfortunately, we are having all sorts of technical issues so far. So let's. So Joel, actually, you should read those comments while I wrote something for whoever is watching. So let me read that out to those, and you speak some important comments, and then we will come back to those comments.
I
Okay?
want to talk to Dawn. Dawn, you've been here before, right? You were here at one of our previous. And Dawn said, I don't want the women to lose their rights or to lose any of our privileges. We are not second class citizens. We all eat, go to our jobs, come home, raise kids, and repeat every day. We're all living, breathing human beings. Nothing else should matter. Color, religion, none of it should matter. Okay, Dawn, I'm going to bring you in. You'll come into the call? Is that what you're saying? You want to join this call with me? Okay,
We
here we
would love to
go.
have you. Would love to have you.
I just, I think I invited you. If you didn't get an invite, let us know. So, Dawn, I love what you're saying. I agree with all of it. What I want you to consider doing, okay? I want you to consider flipping that message around. And instead of talking about what you don't want to lose, I want you to talk about what you're going to seize. Okay? We are going to stop playing defense. We are going to stop responding to what they want us to respond to. Okay? The women of the world are going to unite online. And what you're going to do is instead of saying, I don't want to lose these rights, you're going to tell them, look, you motherfuckers, stay away from my rights, or we're going to screw your lives up. Okay. We are the International Online Women's Democratic Nation, and we are the most powerful motherfucking democracy in the world. And we are not going to back down to you. We're not going to start playing defense. We're going to get offensive. Um, okay, Don's not going to be here. We're still looking for one. I think of
Yes.
the women who fought for our rights, like the suffragettes. Oliver says, after what they went through and many other groups, I can't just sit by and let our rights be taken away. Again, Oliver, you're so right. But what those women suffragettes did was their rights were already gone. Okay. What they said is, we're going to seize our rights. We are going to put ourselves on offense, and we are going to take charge of our rights, and we're going to demand our rights, and you're going to give us those rights because we will not back down. It's this, it's this switch we have to flip. We have to stop thinking about what we're trying to defend, and we have to start thinking about what we demand. Okay. It's just a bare minimum requirement. Women are going to be treated and paid as equals. They're going to have the same opportunities. At the same time, women are going to uplift and support and embrace the other women who maybe just don't really feel drawn to that. What what you're going to do is you're going to empower them and all women to make these conscious choices of how they want to live their lives. This isn't for the men of the world to do. The men of the world, we're the reasons why everything's fucked up now. You guys need to step in and clean this shit up, or we're going to make it worse. We are not capable of fixing this. We have proven that to you. I, I just can't think of anything else that's more obvious. It's we're the reason we're all here. Um, this listener, date of birth 1949, remembers the restrictions on women in the 70s and 80s. Email and text are things I can do. You're muted. That was from Janet. Am I still muted, Janet?
No,
Can
I
you
can
hear
hear
me?
you loud and clear. So maybe that's something is wrong with their device, or they got muted on their device. You are all good, man. So keep going.
Kathy says 1947. Okay. Listen, one of the other things we have to do, okay? The majority of the people here are women. The majority of the women here are older women, okay? How in hell are you guys going to get younger women involved? Okay. That's the other thing that has to happen right now. Okay. As we're emailing NATO and emailing the UN, okay, what's the outreach going to be to younger women? And let me tell you, I wrote, oh my God. Okay, ladies, we're going to lighten things up. I'm going to tell you I meant I I told these guys I wanted to really make this today a whole lot more fun than some of the others. Okay, so we're gonna have some fun here. All right, this is gonna be hilarious. I might really piss off a couple of you, um, but this is going to tie directly, Kathy, into getting young women involved. Okay, so who here is a single woman who has ever been on a dating site? And show us some heart signs if you've ever experienced online dating and had some kind of funny, crazy, unbelievable stuff happen. Because I'm I'm recently single in the last 2 years for significant or there a big part of that is because of this, because of what I believe. Okay. Patty's there. Has Patty had an online dating experience? Let me tell you about mine, Patty. So I live in San Luis Obispo County, okay? And I got on a dating site, I think it's Bumble or something like that. And I reached out to this lady, Jewish lady. Um, yeah, I don't know from a woman's standpoint how it may be scary. For me, I'm a tough sell, man. I'm dedicated to this movement right now. But here's what happened. So I was just dipping my toes in online dating, okay? And I saw this lady, um, she was a Jewish lady in my age range in Santa Barbara. And so I reached out to her and I introduced myself and I said, "Hey, I come down to the Santa Barbara Bowl to go to a concert periodically. Would you ever like to hook up? Blah, blah, blah." And we started talking back and forth online and we were doing it by text. And what happened was after a couple of times, it became evident to both of us that we weren't a good match. Okay. But as we were reaching that part in our getting to know each other, okay, she made a comment of something or other that she was a professor at UCSB. And I asked her what she was a professor in, and she said, I'm a professor in political science. Now, if you're me and you're trying to get the world to work on online citizen led democracy, and you get the opportunity to talk to a political science professor at a major California university, you're going to view that as a golden opportunity. Okay. And so I told her, I said, look, I have this idea I'd like to talk to you about that has to do with online citizen led democracy. Would you be interested in talking? How could I maybe talk to some students or staff or any of that? And she got really cold and she wasn't interested, right? And it really accelerated the fact that we weren't going to have a relationship. And so as she started distancing herself, I was like, okay, I have this real sarcastic side. Plus, I really want a chance to talk to these professors and students. So, this is what I typed to her. So, imagine you're on an online dating site, you've met this man. It turns out this woman is the head of political science at UCSB. Okay. And this is the message that I sent her. I said, here's my offer to you. I will remodel your bathroom at no cost. I will mow your lawn for you. I will massage your feet while I feed you grapes like an Egyptian princess. And I will change the oil in your car in a Speedo if you will just talk to me for 15 minutes about online citizen led democracy. That was my offer to the head of political science at UCSB. She decided not to talk to me anymore. Okay. That was that that ended our discussion as either potentially going on a date together or me getting the opportunity to talk to her students. So how does that relate to, yeah, it might be a bit creepy. So, you have to understand, Patricia and Diane, I am fully committed to getting the world to discuss online citizen-led democracy, and I will say or do damn near anything. And I had given her multiple opportunities to discuss it, and she wouldn't, and so that's what I did. I'm not a creepy dude, but I am 100% all in on online citizen led
Well,
democracy.
that he is saying 100% creepy.
So, are you
Well,
scared of me now, Patty? Do you see me differently?
yeah, so Oliver is so we are really grateful to people like you who are fully committed and still here, you know, listening to Joel and me. So thank you so much for listening to us. Let us know if you want to join us in the video conversation. We will invite you, and we would love to know you personally.
So now I'm going to take that and I'm going to flip that and I'm going to talk to you about how do you get young women engaged with all of you here. Okay. We set up, Ashfak and I set up emails to approximately 150 professors of political science at UCSB, UCSD, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, and Stanford. Okay. And I started emailing them, asking them if they would discuss this. Oliver, I need a handyman desperately. I would have jumped on that. Oliver, are you male or female?
Sounds like male man, but I don't know. Could be a female.
I take Oliver as a male name, and I have nothing against gay men in any way. Okay, old, we'll see you later, but I'm not gay. Um, Old, thanks for being here. Get an email address and get our email messages, and hopefully you'll send them. Female. Oliver is female. Okay. Um, well, I'm in Central California, and I would probably mow your lawn if you would send emails and text messages.
So let me send the spreadsheet. And also, Oliver, I'm not sure if you already dropped your email. If you want it in your email, I can send it to you. You just have to drop your email in the chat. Sherry just
Sherry
sent
Sue,
it. So, yeah,
can you
Sherry,
give
thank
it?
you
Did you
so
give
much.
us an email? Do we have your email?
Yes, Sherry, I just shared the spreadsheet link. And if you drop your email, I will personally send it in your email as well. So, Oliver, yes, thank you so much. Don't forget to send those emails out and uh, let us know on our next slide that have you sent those emails out or not. And also, you can drop your, I think dropping your phone number is not a good thing, but we have your email address. I'll send it over to Joel so that he can contact you. Now, uh, all
Okay.
right.
I want to talk about young women.
Yeah.
I want to talk about how we get young women involved. So I sent emails to all of these college professors asking if any of them would engage in a discussion with me about online citizen led democracy. Sent multiple emails, never got one bit of interest. Okay. Sent them copies of the book and the manifesto, never got any interest. Okay. Um, I called out the lady from UCSB. I listed what my offer was to her, trying to get people to discuss it. Okay. And I couldn't get anyone. And one of my comments was this: if you're a professor of political science, my impression of scientists is that they conduct experiments. Okay. But if you're not encouraging your students and your staff to be engaging in really progressive, bold new ideas for freedom and democracy, you are not being a science professor. You're being a history teacher and a theory teacher. And so, what we could do here is we could get a whole group of, I'm going to say women again. We could get a whole group of women here. We could set you up with those email addresses, and we're putting together a much bigger emailing list for a whole bunch of other universities right now. And what I want you to imagine is this: I want you to imagine that you're the professors at these universities, your political science professors. And all of a sudden, instead of getting one email from this crazy dude who said he wanted to change her oil in her car in a Speedo or massage her feet and feed her grapes like an Egyptian princess, right? You get 10 or 15 or 20 or 25 women who are emailing these political science professors saying, we are here to establish the international online democratic women's nation. And we want to talk to your students, and we want to talk to you professors, and we need to get young women involved in this process. We are looking to provide opportunities for, and we're looking to invite these young women, and we're looking to give them leadership roles in this bold new international online women's democratic nation. Now, they might not listen to Crazy Joel, okay? But if they get emails from 10 or 20 or 30 or 50 of you, which is going to happen over the coming days or weeks, because I'm not stopping until we do it, okay? That could be one of the things that crosses the chasm, okay? Where can you imagine if just one university all of a sudden said, we want to hold an online Zoom call and find out what the hell this online democratic women's nation is going to be. We want to learn about that. If you get a large enough group of those young women, you will have crossed the chasm. Okay. You guys will be leading the future young women. You will be empowering them. You will be helping create the platform where they go on to change the world. And I just don't comprehend why people aren't lining up to do this. I mean, why why not send a couple of texts? Why not send a couple of emails? Why not? I guess there's this term that people say now. It's FA FAFO, fuck around and find out. What's to lose? What's the fear, Oliver? When you say the fear is there, this is a great thing. How I've been here for approximately 2 hours. We're now up around 230 people who at least started here. I don't know how many are still here, but how can I, how can we as a team construct this message better? Probably tell me to be less long-winded, I'm sure. But what can we do better that would make anyone here, but especially the women, what would what would inspire you to get more involved? What would inspire more comments? What can we do? Or is everybody gone? Have a woman. I'm trying, Patty. Is there any woman in there who would speak to me? You give me 15 to 30 minutes with a woman who is motivated by this, and I will turn her into a fucking legend. Not I will turn her into. I will I will talk about things in a way that will take someone who's motivated, it will give them all of these new ideas and new ways to discuss these things that she will there's going to be some women who feel compelled to speak out. We do, Dawn. This is all we need to do. Janice, you've been fighting this fight. Have you seen anything that remotely provides this kind of opportunity for
So
real
Janice
world positive effects?
said, before that comment, Janice said that she has two universities that she could reach out to better spread the word. So I thanked her for that, and definitely, I mean, this would be really awesome if you can share it with anybody you know who would be interested stepping up to protect their rights and stuff.
I
So
want to talk to Diane for a minute. Diane said Democratic women's groups are very motivated and do the bulk of the party's work. You're right. I want to tell you a story. How many people here attended the No Kings March, the last one, and how many are going to attend the next one? Um, I went to the last one, and that was where I finally started to get my courage. And I stood at the base of the stage in San Luis Obispo, the city of San Luis Obispo. We probably had about 4 to 5, maybe 7,000 people at the No Kings March there. And as they were coming to the end, they had a lot of speakers and music and all of this stuff. And this young man who I've gotten to know, who's the head of the local 5051 group, I think his name is Jesse. I didn't realize it was him. He was standing up to speak again, and I just stood up in front of the whole crowd and screamed at the top of the lungs. And I said, please give us some ideas. Please give us something that we can do while we're here, where we walk away from this march and feel like we've accomplished something. And the local Democratic leader, a guy named Tom Folks, stepped up and he said, we'll talk to you later. That's not a part of our program. And he shut me down. Okay. And at the end of the rally, I made the same comment. Would anyone like to actually talk about action that can happen? And when the whole rally was done, none of us had been given anything that we could do to make a difference. This is it, Courtney. They're not looking to do anything. They're there to rally and wave signs and make us feel better. But this is not the 1960s anymore. This is the age of the internet. Every one of us who's at these rallies has the whole world in our hands. Rose, I love you. Thank you so much for coming back. Voting is the last thing we do.
Hey, cool fact
Okay.
about Red Rose. She was the first uh, female employee on General Motors. So that is
No way.
that is fucking
Really?
inspiring. I asked her if she wants to join us so that we can learn more about her. So Red Rose, we would love to hear from you. I guess everybody wants to hear from you. So let us know if you can join us. And I actually have a crazy idea, Joel. I want to share it with you and the audience and want to get your feedback about the idea. Okay. So are you ready to hear it?
I am, but I want to know, what are Red Rose and Patty saying yes to? They
Maybe
can tell us.
they want to come or
Somebody
what?
is saying, if somebody is saying yes, you want to come on live, you just tell us and we will invite you in. But you have to say that.
Yes, you have to be a bit clear. Uh,
Rose, we're going to engage with you.
yes. So I can do only text. So Red Rose, thank you for being here. I hope you can join us maybe on some later live streams we'll be having. We would love to hear from you. For now, we will just text you. And Patty, can you? Oh, so yeah,
Patty
Patty.
wants to hear from Rose.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. I guess I can. However, this is not politics unless they want to do it.
Rose, type some text and tell us a little bit about what it was like for you. If you were, did she say she was the first woman employee of General Motors?
Oh yeah, man. GM,
That's
that
freaking
General Motors,
insane.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So type and tell us a little bit about it if you're not going to get on camera. But I want to comment, who typed vote? Red Rose did, I believe.
Yes.
Rose, you and I are a big part of this problem because we were raised and brought up in a generation where we were taught and we believe that voting is what you need to do for your democracy and freedom. Okay? That is not it. We have to change that message. That's one of the things I would encourage the women of the world to do if they unite online democratically. It's the education, it's the activity, it's the involvement. They would sabotage your job.
So, Joel, I have some cool stuff coming in from Rakesh. He just sent a screenshot saying Tennessee's death penalty abortion bill, why women must unite online now more than ever, is getting a lot of traffic uh, from Substack. So I think we should talk about that. But I would love to. I mean, I've been hearing for you. more than 2 hours. Now you should give me at least 2 minutes to talk about my idea, right?
Do your thing, man.
All right. So I actually wrote a script, but I want to talk a little bit from my heart. So I, had a like deep thought about what's the problem with, you know, all these corrupted politicians and power. And I found the main culprit is greed. Okay. So people who are greedy spends or invests a lot of money to get elected. For example, the orange guy. So I thought about like how can we, separate power from greed. Okay. There should be some filters. And then I, kept thinking about it. I went to, so one time I went into a written exam in UNICEF Bangladesh, and I saw that they had this 100% transparency rule. And then I'm also inspired by one of the Jim Carrey's movie called The Truman Show. So I combined all of these ideas and I thought, okay, why not put these politicians like a throne so difficult to sit on that those businessmen thinks, okay, we are better off from the public sector and we should focus on the private sector for profit. So, imagine if you are the politician and you have to stay on a live stream for 24 hours and the whole world will be watching you. You cannot make any shady deals. You cannot do anything that's going to upset your countrymen. Okay. So, and we also definitely need to implement the digital democracy system where people will, participate in all the major or minor decisions that government have to take. Like we are the people, we need to participate more, right? So that's not gonna make it too long. So I'm gonna read out what I wrote for you guys. The system thrives in the shadows, from the global weight of JFK and MLK to the recent blood of Alex Titi and Osman Hadi and the stolen lives of Shagor Rooney, Munia, and Tonu in Bangladesh. These tragedies happen because the powerful use their privacy as a shield for their crimes. But we have the technology to turn the lights on. I am calling for a Truman show for power, 100% radical, real time transparency for every politician and general, because those who hold our lives in their hands must no longer have the right to hide. My name is Ashfak, and it is time we claim our future by forcing the truth into the light. Join the movement for total accountability at IOD Nations. So, what do you think about my idea? Tell me in the comments.
Well, okay. Way to go, man.
Yeah, you tell me what do you think about it? Like,
Well, I don't fully comprehend the whole Truman Show idea, and I'm sorry. You know me. I don't do well with focusing on multiple different things at the same time. So I was trying to type to Kathy because she came back. So just briefly, tell me what you mean by the Truman Show aspect.
okay, so imagine you are seeing Trump on a live stream 24/7. You know what he's doing, and you got to say what he can sign in and not. You have the way to uh, let your voice. I mean, you can just kick him out of the office if he makes a deal that you don't like, or most of the people in your country don't like. So the idea is put the politicians, the government officials, the generals into the light of the truth. In front of the camera, that's streaming them 24/7, so they cannot do anything shady.
I I love the idea, but I think you're in a
Overdoing
free and
it.
democratic society, you can't lock people up in an environment unless it's a either agreed upon or
Yes.
unless it's a legal punishment and
No,
what
no. I
they
mean, they have
go
to.
through.
So if you want to run for government, you have to sign up to this kind of shit show.
Well,
What do you think of
that one right there, yeah, I would agree with. I'm kind of in the I'm in the line with Courtney on that one. But what I will tell you is this. So, well, Courtney knows this one. Uh, uh, some of the other people here probably don't. Um, let me. So the there's a man whose writing and teachings kind of were a breakthrough for me, and his name is Buckminster Fuller or Bucky Fuller, one of the greatest inventors and futurists in U.S. history. And he had some quotes, and he said, "Don't fight forces, use them. You never change things from within. If you want to change something, build a new model that makes the previous model obsolete. Dare to be naive. We are intended to be architects of the future and not its victims." Now, this is from both an inventor and a futurist. And what he's telling us is he's actually giving us the recipe for change. If you go back to the law of diffusion of innovation, it's the same thing, okay? We have to build a new model that makes the previous model obsolete. It doesn't mean we eliminate the previous model, but what happens when the women of the world unite online and found the international or national, it could be the U.S. Online Democratic Women's Nation, it could just be the women of the United States of America, and they can also be citizens of the international online women's democratic nation. This is the this is the power, the compounding effect of the internet. So Rose Rose could become a citizen of the online U.S. Women's Nation. She could become a citizen of the International Online Democratic Women's Nation. Okay? If Rose is an artist, she can become a citizen of the International Online Art Nation. If she's just profoundly worried about our climate, she can become a citizen of the International Online Democratic Climate Nation. Now, what Rose has done by becoming a citizen of all four of those online democratic nations, okay, she has exponentially increased her power and influence. Every one of those nations holds as its core foundational value, if you are not pro democracy, then you are not pro democracy. And we are the democratic, online, citizen led nations of the world. And you do not get direct access to us. And Rose, I don't want to ask Rose how old she is, but for those of you here, so if Rose was the first woman to work for GM or in some certain form for GM, can you imagine the transition for this, where the trajectory of Rose's life, she's 69. Rose, what I'm telling you is that in your life, you are going to be a part of being the first woman to work at General Motors. And now you're going to become one of the founding women of international online citizen led democracy and the International Online Democratic Women's Nation. What what a legacy for you to leave. What an opportunity for you. And when you belong to all of these online democratic nations that are working together, collaborating to promote freedom and democracy across the world, you're going to go down as one of the foundational leaders of women's rights. Okay? Dawn, you're going to be a part of this. We are going to make this happen. And I know you're going to be back and you're going to help me get more people to say yes to emails and
So
yes
let's
to
ask
text
Dawn if she
messages.
wants to join the call.
What's that?
Let's ask Dawn if she wants to join in the video
I,
conversation.
I think I know we did already. She doesn't think she looks good enough today.
Okay. All right.
Dawn,
So
we think you look fantastic, right? We everybody one of the comments that was here, somebody said, "We want to hear from a woman." My joke, a joke. It so when I go before the board of supervisors in San Luis Obispo County, okay, my comment to them when I introduce myself is I say, "My name is Joel Coleman. I am the founder of IOD Nations, International Online Democratic Nations.org, and I am the current acting president of the International Online Democratic Women's Nation." Okay? So I'm representing myself as a man. We wrote an article about this in our Substack. Why is a man the acting president of the International Online Democratic Women's Nation? I'm here. I'm begging for some woman to step up. You don't have to want to be the president. Just help us get this thing happening. Help us send these emails. Help us go in and blow up these other substacks and ask them why they're not talking about this. Help us send the text messages, the emails. We need to make this happen. You need to get this old man out of this seat. And we need the women and the young women of the world leading this movement. We need you. We need Rose to have the opportunity, right, to go from the first woman working for GM to one of the founders of the International Online Citizen Led Democratic Movement. What what a gift if we could give that to her, right? What don't we all want to do that? Why can't we, whatever it is, whatever you have to find to get you to send emails and to send texts and to blow up these other substacks. I don't care what motivates you. I don't want to be a man here talking to women about this. I'm I'm begging, I'm hoping that you guys will step up and just freaking blow us away with what the women of the world are capable of when you get into positions of power and influence all across the world. And all you have to do is send emails and get other people to send emails, and you do it. Do it for Rose. Do it do it for the women who want the evidence released from Epstein. Do it to tell Tennessee, fuck you. Abortion is not murder. And do it for the little 12-year-old girls who are going to get raped and don't want to be forced to give birth to those babies. I don't care what it is that inspires you. So I gave you the negative things, but don't forget the positive one. Do it for Rose. Do it for the young women who are going to seize this opportunity and blow you away with what they're capable of. Okay? You can get to me through our website, IOD. These guys will give you the link.
So I already actually dropped.
IODnations.org, Jane. Um,
So I
but mainly, go ahead. Go ahead, Ashfaq.
okay. So I dropped the website link, and you can message us on Substack, Facebook, YouTube, or you can actually send us an email. So let me write down the email address. So go ahead, keep talking, John.
Kathy, I've been working on this for 10 years and I didn't get the courage to put myself in front of a camera and really just put it out there um, until until the first of this year. I was too much of a coward. I didn't want to do this. I don't really like being here. I don't really want to do this. Um, but I made a commitment. Um, I'm going to get this done in 2026, no matter what. Um, and it seems to be on our Substack somehow or other. We've been able to engage primarily with women, and you guys are the ones who have stepped up and are coming into our live chat. You're the ones who are at least beginning to engage. I am going to. I'm writing an article about the NBA and um, the the black Christian men of the United States in the NBA and how they've been manipulated and brainwashed into abandoning their nation, their culture, their brotherhood. Um, they can do better. There are things that they have the resources, they have the access, and they are not standing up. I don't know if you know the story, but there's Colin Kaepernick, and there's another guy named Colin Kaepernick was in the NFL, and Ennis Freedom. Ennis Freedom is. Can somebody put a link? Can you look up Ennis Freedom? ENN or ENNIS. He's a Muslim. He played in the NBA. He is under threat from the authoritarian regime in Turkey. Okay. They want him dead. Okay. And this man made a protest back at the height of his NBA career, and all of the NBA players abandoned him. And he has gone on to form, he's like Draco. Ennis Freedom is like this agent of peace, and he is doing things to inspire young people all around the world. And he surrendered his NBA career to stand up for what he believed in, just the way that Colin Kaepernick did. And those professional athletes abandoned them and left them and hung them out to dry. And we have to change that. And the women of the world can unite online, and you guys are going to make this happen. I know it's going to happen. Um, but we want it to happen quicker. If you have not subscribed, you'll notice I've been here 2 hours and 30 minutes. I haven't asked one person to subscribe. I haven't asked one person to donate money. Okay. I'm not wealthy. I pay these guys slave wages to help me do this. Okay. All we need you to do is participate. We would love it if you would subscribe. If any of you are financially interested or capable of, doing a paid subscription, feel free to do it. If you don't, I, I honestly don't care. All I want you to do is unite online, establish online citizen-led democracy, and let's launch a bold, brave new world of what freedom and democracy can become. We must refuse to be the first generation that when our democracy failed, we didn't stand up and create the next great democracy. Every time throughout history that democracy has failed, a group of people have stood up and they have launched and established and created the next great free and democratic society. And we're going to do it online, and the women of the world are going to lead it, and you're going to become some of the most powerful and influential forces in the world, and you're going to blow people away with what you're capable of. I can't give you a better coach's speech or inspirational message. I just don't know what else to say,
Okay,
except
so yeah, go ahead.
except we're not going to do it today because I don't have enough involvement from you guys. When you guys come back on Monday, and when we do this again, okay, I'm still going to put it out there. Anybody here who wants to meet George Clooney, anybody here who wants to be a part of the biggest prank in the history of history, bigger than the Trojan horse, okay? We are going to prank George Clooney, and he is going to laugh so hard that he cries. And some of you ladies here are going to have a chance to meet him. I can almost guarantee it, okay? Some of you here are going to have a chance to be a part of winning the Nobel Peace Prize because of establishing these online democracies. Okay. It's just going to be a matter of which one of you step up and invite the others of you to organize with you and start making this shit happen before it's too late. I go back to what, for those of you who don't know, one of the people who was here earlier calls herself Old Woman. Okay. Um, Shit, I forgot what I was going to say. She said, aren't we putting ourselves at risk? Okay. If we don't take action now, if we don't do it in these nonviolent ways, then we are pushing that weight. We are pushing that violence. We are pushing that response ability onto the shoulders and backs of other people who will refuse to back down. They will fight for your freedom and democracy until they're put in a concentration camp. There are people all over this country who will do that. We're already at risk, Janice. We're going to do it right now while we're the least at risk. If if we do the text messaging, okay? If we get a bunch of you to unite online with the UN and NATO, we blow that risk out of the water, right? We flip the switch of playing defense against them and we put them on defense. Now they're not at risk of violence because we're not going to do that. But what we are going to do is we're going to impose the power and influence of the free and democratic citizens of the world upon them. Okay. We are going to assume the positions of power and influence. And when we do it in mass numbers, they're the ones who are at risk, not us. Okay, we're losing a lot of people.
No, no, no,
Let's
wait. No,
let's
it's wait, wait. We are
go
doing
ahead.
great, man. We are doing amazing. So Courtney is asking like, Ashfaq, will you email what time on Monday, please? So, uh,
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock. If you are subscribed or following us, we will send you an email before we go live. And there are some pretty amazing comments and pretty there are quite some people who just joined. And there is one thing that I want to accomplish, which is I want to get you 12 people to send those emails out. Okay. And right now I have only around
No,
10%.
we wanted I wanted 6 for the emails, 12 for the texts, okay?
So,
So,
yeah, go ahead.
well, that's the objective. I know we've gotten 6 for the emails. I have not seen I have not seen the women here or the people here take the responsibility to get 12 people to send the text messages.
Well,
Um,
I took that responsibility, and I've been, telling it through along with you. I've been
how many do
telling.
you have?
I have 10% who dropped their email addresses, and there are a bunch of other people who didn't drop their email, but they are looking into the spreadsheet. So that's a good thing. And I actually want to ask these new persons who just joined us. Can you explain like what we are doing, and would they be interested to be participate in the world's most?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Teresa Teresa says, Teresa, we're all most of us here are old, okay? Let me tell you something. So I'm gonna have some fun with Teresa, and I'm gonna bag on her a little bit, okay? But I'm gonna answer Ashfak's question. Here's what we propose. We are iodnations.org, International Online Democratic Nations.org. Nations are the highest and best use of human collaboration. Nations are the most powerful and influential collaborations in the world. Human beings unite and collaborate as nations, and they understand that, and they exhibit and exert that power and influence as nations. Teresa, you said we must join hands across every continent. What we are proposing, and where I'm going to pick on you a little bit, is that I'm older like you are, okay? And we don't live in that world anymore. The virtual world really kind of drives what I call the trad world, the traditional land and borders world. So, my premise for founding International Online Democratic Nations was based upon this quote that I came up with. If a business no longer requires brick and mortar, does a nation require land and borders? And my point is that nations no longer require land and borders. We have the ability to establish online digital nations. It's just a matter of collaborating. In essence, Facebook is a nation. They have their own citizens. They have their own marketplace, which is us. They have their own governance and infrastructure. They have their own authoritarian leader. His name is Mark Zuckerberg. Okay. They have their own economy. Okay. Facebook is one of the most powerful and influential entities in the world. They basically function as an authoritarian nation, and we permit them to use us for that because we do not access the internet. We are the internet. We grant them and allow them access to us. So Facebook has almost no value, or their at least their social media platform, which is primarily where their value comes from. Without us, they don't have value. We are their commodity. They are milking us. I'm not going to say I hate him, but, and we can talk about hating Trump, but here's what we do here at IOD Nations. We take that hate, we take that anger, and we take that frustration, and we turn it into action. We are going to unite online, and we are going to stop responding to them. No, do not resign from Facebook, Kathy. You and Ashfak are in agreement. We are
Yeah.
going to stay on Facebook. We are going to stay on Facebook, and we are going to compel Facebook to become a pro freedom and democracy online social media platform. We are going to get so big that the International Online Women's Democratic Nation is going to issue a a press release, okay? And that press release is going to go to Facebook, and it's going to say, "We are the women of the International Online Democratic Women's Nation. And if Facebook does not change their mission statement so that they become a pro freedom and democracy company and social media platform that 66% or more of their citizens sign off on, we are going to come after you." Okay. We are going to come after Facebook because we will not allow the most powerful and influential social media platform on the world to be anti women and anti freedom and democracy. Ashfaq and I have talked before. We cannot pay to run ads on Facebook that use the word freedom or democracy in them. Who the fuck makes up a rule that says we can't create advertisements that are pro freedom and democracy? What kind of social media platform does that? If look, the message to Facebook is this: if you are not pro freedom and democracy, then you, Facebook, you, the employees of Facebook, you, Mark Zuckerberg, if you're not going to be pro freedom and democracy, okay, then you are not pro freedom and democracy. And we, the pro freedom and democracy women of the world, we are going to kick your ass. We are either going to acquire your social media platform, or we're going to get to a point where we remove all of us at once, and we're going to relegate you to being inconsequential in the future. This is what it means to start thinking and acting and being offensive democratically. Okay? We have to change the mindset. So, Ashfaq, do you think you have 12?
No, you actually need to address that. So we are trying to send out some emails as a part of this live stream or this experiment, whatever you want to say. We want to send an email to NATO, United Nations, AOC, and some other influential guys or people. And we even have
Okay,
a yeah, sure.
I'm going to give you specific steps I want you guys to take, okay, right now.
Yeah.
Here's what I need you to do. We just we decided on 5 email addresses that we want messages sent to, okay? NATO, the UN, Katie Porter, who were the other 2? Did we get Heather Cox Richardson in there?
Yes. Yep.
And there was one other one.
Yes, and then we got. Did you mention about Katie?
Katie Porter, yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to answer your question, Kathy. Okay. What I need you to do, so you're posting a link to a spreadsheet. Anyone here who wants to open that spreadsheet, here's what you will find in it. You will find 5 email addresses. Okay. You will find one message that you can send to those addresses that basically says, please start talking about online citizen led democracy. That's the extent of it. Okay. When we're done with our show today, the 4 of us are going to send those same emails again. Okay. And today or tomorrow, the people who receive those emails are going to get them and they're going to say, what the hell is online citizen led democracy? Now, if you want to put something more in your comment, If we've inspired you to say something, if you want to talk about what the International Online Democratic Women's Nation can become, you can do that. We're just making it simple. All you have to do is copy and paste the addresses, copy and paste the message and put it into the subject and hit send. Okay? And
Yeah.
we hope that more than 5 or 10 of you will do that. Next, we're going to post a text message that we're asking you to send to your friends. We're asking each one of you who will participate to send this text message to 2 friends that you think will support online citizen-led democracy. Ashfaq, I'm going to leave that to you and Rakesh to organize that behind the lines and have
All
that
right.
ready. We're going to end this show in just a little bit, and we're going to make sure that anyone who wants to participate in this text thread has the opportunity to do that. Okay?
Yeah.
And we're
So
going
I
to
just
make
want
sure,
to go ahead.
go ahead.
Okay.
We're going to
So
make sure that in that thread, it includes the email address for NATO and the email address for the UN. I don't know if you're putting Newsom's email address in there or not. You can or not, whatever it is. Go ahead.
yeah. So let me put Newsom's email address as well. Just a moment. And I wanted to say, if any of you want you know, want to access that spreadsheet in your email, having trouble to copy paste it in your browser or accessing the spreadsheet, just drop your email address in the chats, and I will send that spreadsheet to you right away. So uh, let me see where is
We
Newton.
just got one from Pam. Okay, Kathy, you want to know about my background. Born and raised in Yorktown, Virginia, where Cornwallis surrendered to George Washington and the Victory Monument was paid for and put up by Lafayette and the French. Okay? That's where I was born and raised for the first 18 years of my life. I never lived anywhere else except for Yorktown, Virginia. Um, I was a bit of I wasn't quite in the cool crowd as a kid, and I got heavily, and my dad was a prick. Okay? He loved me, and he loved all of us, but he was a prick. And I had a not a physically abusive childhood, but a pretty tough one. So I lost myself in books. And the primary writer who got me originally was a guy named Louis L'Amour. And if anybody knows Louis L'Amour, they have this same theme that goes throughout the books. And it's the same theme that Joseph Campbell taught in The Power of Myth. And if you don't know Joseph Campbell and The Power of Myth, God, do yourself a favor. Actually, story the guy who created Star Wars did it based on Joseph Campbell's Power of Myth, and he went and stayed at Joseph Campbell's house for weeks as he was coming up for the ideas for Star Wars. Joseph Campbell and the Power of Myth created that. The moral of that story is that all Louis L'Amour books are based upon doing what's right, standing up with character, not looking out for people who need someone to help them. Okay. Um, so that's what I grew up with. That's the the Sackett brothers, Orrin Sackett, William Tell Sackett, Tyrell Sackett, the whole Sackett series of Louis L'Amour books are those are who raised me. Then a, I left Virginia the middle of my senior year in high school, moved to California, became a Californian, and I have no interest. I wouldn't mind living somewhere else, but I love California except for the orange turd um, right now. But I've had I've worked in a lot of management, middle management positions. I worked for Price Club before it came Costco for 6 or 7 years and just about every position of management in there. I worked in banking as a bank manager for years. Then I went out and I established my own real estate development company. Um, and so my ex-wife and I ran a relatively successful uh, real estate development company on the Central Coast in California for 18 years until I my eyes got too big for my stomach. I had too many projects on the books in 2008. I am an entrepreneur. I'm also an inventor, Kathy. I'm going to give the women of the world a multi-million dollar product that you can use to fund your nation, and I will gift it to you, and it's going to blow you away when you see what it is. Um, and so we lost everything in 2008. We had to declare bankruptcy. Um, my ex-wife did not want me to put as many projects on the books as I had. And because we had all of those projects, we went bankrupt. And my whole life changed. I went from being, semi-retired I guess that was in my late 40s or whatever. And I have no, I mean, I was reasonably wealthy, but not ecstatically excessively so, although by third world standards I was, but I lost everything. And I went to work in a bike shop. I went from making $1.6 million, I think, one year to making $12 an hour in a bike shop. So my whole identity um, got messed with. And in the process of trying to develop some products, and that's how I met Ashfak, was with my product that he helped me with and still wonders why we haven't taken it to market. Um, I came up, I realized that if we citizens of the world don't unite online, then the authoritarians are going to win. And they're winning right now. And so for 10 years, I tried the most outlandish, crazy ideas that Ashfaq and I could share videos with you and things that we've done where I was like, I will do or say anything to get people to talk about online citizen led democracy, except I wasn't willing to put myself on a camera and get in front of people. I was too much of a coward. And so
So,
here I am.
Matthew,
My dad,
today,
my Matthew, you're right. My dad made me what I am. He uh, he is a part of the best and most challenging parts of who I am as a human being. But let me tell you this. He taught me how to think, and he taught me how to reason, and he taught me how to look at things differently. And he was a prick while he did it, but he he didn't understand. I don't think people really knew what ADHD was then and how I couldn't focus. And so he was really hard on me because I had problems focusing. But I always knew that he loved me. And I always knew that he wanted good things for me. And I consider myself very, very fortunate. As much as our relationship had really hard times, I was lucky to grow up with a dad who loved me and cared about me. So then I wrote a book, Kathy, and I wrote the manifesto. And I finally got to the point where things are so bad in the world that I had to get in front of a camera and try and share this message. And I made a New Year's resolution that I would not go through 2026 without getting the world to talk about this. And that's how you got here. And that's how I got here. And about 10 years of that have been done with Ashfaq by my side. And believe me, he and I have driven each other to Well, I don't know if he drinks. I don't think he does, but we have butted heads and we've had our ups and downs, but we both love and appreciate and believe in each other.
Yeah.
And then we
So,
ran into Draco, the agent of peace, baby. Next week, we are going to share some videos with you that are going to blow your mind. So, how are we going to engage with I want you to finish up, and then how are we going to engage with these people who want to send these texts?
so Kathy, yeah, you created a platform to save our nation. So, kind of, we are still trying to build that platform, Kathy, and we need your help. We need the engineers, we need the web developers, we need, you know, people, the brains, and all sorts of people to talk to us and build this platform that actually is built by the people for the people and works for the people. I mean, we can stand up against this authoritarianism with this platform. So we need your support badly. So I hope you would join us in our next conversation. Maybe come into the video, talk to us. So we would love to hear from you. I think we can call it a day. What do you think, Joel?
I do. I just want to tell everybody, understand that this is one of these points where Ashfak and I disagree. Okay? I don't think we need to build a platform. We have a very rudimentary platform that people can go to and you can register as a citizen of IOD Nations. Okay? But it's really rudimentary. It's not capable of handling or doing what we want.
Yeah.
But if you've been here through this discussion, here's what I believe. I believe that within the next week or two, we are going to get traction. We are going to break through and we are going to get some person of power and influence to talk about this. And when they do, millions of people are going to email NATO and the UN. And the women of the world are going to unite online and they're going to found the International Online Democratic Women's Nation. And you guys are going to issue the ultimatum to Facebook. And either Facebook is going to become the pro freedom and democracy platform that we want it to become, or you're going to dominate it and you're going to conduct a hostile takeover and you're going to make it yours or some other platform like Blue Sky or Twitter, or there's some other social media platforms that are out there, and you're going to make a deal to them and you're going to say, we would like to use your platform as the foundation for the International Online Democratic Women's Nation. Okay. And if you will do that with us and you will agree to be a pro freedom and democracy online social media platform with us, you will become the founding social media platform for a world of citizen led online democracy. And there's going to be a platform that wants to be in that position because for this to work, you have to create economic models that are both socially responsible and entrepreneurial. Okay. We cannot abandon the fact that people need to know that if they work hard and they have bold new ideas, they can be successful. But they don't have to be like the NBA players. And my beef with them is that they should be united. There should be an online platform that they've established already that teaches the people of color of the United States what is required to create a strong, viable, foundational, free and democratic society. Because if women are going to pay the price, the black and brown and yellow people and other and indigenous peoples of the world are going to pay that price as well. And so we're going to make it happen. So, do we do you have a way, Ashfaq, where you feel like you can communicate with people to send these text messages?
I think we already accomplished it. But if anybody needs any instruction or any help, we have dropped our email address, but let me drop it again. Email us at hello at idodnations.org. And also, I want to mention something quite beautiful about a democratic system. So, Joel and I agree that no matter what we do, like there are multiple paths, right? So Joel wants to stay on Facebook. I don't necessarily say that leave Facebook, but I say let's build a different platform that actually works for us. But I mean, you can even drop in your idea and people, all of us can vote that which path we want to go and then pursue it, right? So that's the beauty of democracy. We want
I,
your participation. We need your ideas. So feel free to
I want.
contact
I'm going to
us.
leave you with. I'm going to leave the ladies here or everybody here with a couple of quotes. Sun Tzu wrote The Art of War, and he said the supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. Opportunities seized multiply. What we're talking about here with online citizen led democracy is exactly that. You subdue the enemy without fighting. Okay? Opportunities that you seize will multiply. Now, on the other side, there was a warrior named General George Patton. And I saw a quote from him that just blew me away. And General Patton said this. He said, don't tell people how to do things. Tell them what to do, and they will amaze you with their ingenuity. Now, I feel like what we're talking about here, people have a hard time digesting what online citizen led democracy really can look like. And that's why I'm telling and I've assigned a name to the International Online Democratic Women's Nation, the IOD Women's Nation. But ultimately, this is for the women of the world to do. This is for the free and democratic citizens of the world to do. We're just here trying to get you talking about it. We're just here trying to stimulate ideas, and I've got a bunch of them. But in the end, the people in this group, you are going to have to communicate with each other in this live chat. You're going to have to inspire each other, and you're going to have to unite and make this happen. We can't do it for you. So thanks for being here. We're going to go send our emails and our text messages when we hang up. Um, let's make democracy offensive.
Let's make democracy offensive. All right. Let's hang up from here.
Kathy, thanks for your participation. We'll see everybody on Monday. Let's kick their asses. Bye.
Bye.
Have we copied all their names?
Yes, we have copied all their names and the chat. So you can hit on the leave button and we will end this.
Thanks, everybody. Bye bye.
Okay, bye bye.